are a lot of major American companies with major Chinese interests that are far deeper than using technology from a Chinese company. Look, no doubt Ford's announcement comes at a time of heightened tension between the U.S. and China following the takedown of the Chinese spy balloon. Look, I've long said the U.S. should take a close look at TikTok, the Chinese-owned social media app used by millions of Americans, particularly young people, and finally seems Congress has realized the potential risks associated with the Chinese being able to access all sorts of data on U.S. citizens. There are now several proposed bills calling for TikTok to be banned, including one that was just proposed on Friday. And moving quickly through the House, it would allow President Biden broader powers to ban the app. And look, I support investigations from both House Republicans and Senate Democrats into automakers' reliance on Chinese companies. Okay, all good. But when you think of the number of American companies that have deals with or investments from Chinese-based firms, or simply do business in China, the response to this battery technology deal feels like selective outrage. China's a bad actor, but we do business with them in the technology sector and energy and media. A number of sports organizations and networks have deep ties to China. NBC aired hundreds of hours of programming from Beijing, site of the Winter Olympics, with active involvement from the Communist Party. Did anyone launch an investigation into NBC's ties with the Communist Party? And the NBA does a massive amount of business with China. The league, nonetheless, has lucrative broadcast deals with TNT and ABC. And by the way, that same Chinese company that's partnering with Ford already supplies batteries to Tesla and has a deal in place with Honda to do the same. My point is, where is the line between common sense and caution and mass hysteria? I'm just confused about when the outrage kicks in and why, and when companies should get accused of being in bed with the commies. Many American companies do business with the Chinese, and many are names that we know. Lenovo Computers, it's a Chinese company. Its products are used by nearly 1,000 local and state governments here in the U.S. General Motors has a significant joint venture in China with a Chinese partner. They've had it for decades. AMC Movie Theaters, they have major Chinese shareholders. Smithfield Foods, owned by a Chinese company. The list goes on and on. In fact, according to Public Citizen, there is large-scale Chinese investment now located in at least 40 U.S. states and territories. So I recognize and appreciate that that's a problem, but I just don't quite get the outrage directed at Ford as compared with these other Chinese business relationships. Joining us now is Christian Whiton, who was a senior advisor in George W. Bush administration and under the Trump administration, where he was a senior advisor at the State Department focusing on East Asia. Thanks so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so help me figure this out. Am I missing something on why certain things like this Ford deal lead to so much outrage, but other things don't?
No, I think you hit a key point. And this is sort of a problem with trying to run foreign policy from Capitol Hill. Congress has a very important role to play in foreign policy, but it really sort of, I think, reminds us how important the presidency is, not just in military policy, but also in foreign policy, because the Hill is driven, perhaps more so than the executive branch, by events and events that can draw media attention. So a big name like Ford, something that everyone understands from coast to coast, licensing technology from China, and also the fact that it touches on electric vehicles, which is huge for a big part of the public that is excited about an energy transition, and even for a part that may not be as excited, it's the big part of the Inflation Reduction Act, so-called, in the subsidies. So it's just Ford is in the wrong place at the wrong time, because as you point out, a lot of other industries are big into China too.
Well, and I think TikTok is such a bigger problem than Ford sharing some battery technology. I mean, TikTok is a Chinese-owned company that now has data on all sorts of American young people, millions of them. And I'm not saying, and therefore we need to do one thing or the other. I'm just not quite understanding why Ford is suddenly taking all this heat. Youngkin saying, you can't do this in Virginia. You got to go do it in a different state. Compared to so many other things, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, in defense of Youngkin, I believe that Ford is understating the amount of tax breaks that Michigan and various municipalities in Michigan are going to be giving it to build this plant. And it says it's not cooperating directly with the Chinese government, but there's a pretty tight fusion between any company in China and the Chinese government.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.